Hello and welcome to another episode of Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Please like, subscribe, and share. Hey there, good to see you on our bucket list. Good to see you, Chris. Thanks for coming. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm sorry that people kicked you out. You've always been really good in my chat room, so it's kind of weird, ain't it? Being an advocate is rough, I tell you. Matthew 18, verse 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Matthew 18:10. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. I am so proud of Operation We Will Find You. This was We Will Find You Part 2. They found 200 missing children. I've got a lot of different things to present you with. Pictures, a couple videos, etc., etc. So this is where the main operation. U.S. Marshals find 200 missing children across the nation during Operation We Will Find You Too. See, here's some pictures. Let me show you some pictures right quick. These are posters at Flickr. U.S. Marshal Service, excuse me, sorry, along with federal, state, and local partner agencies, led Operation We Will Find You Too, a 6-week national operation from May 20th to June 24th, 2024. I like seeing pictures like this. They need to have more of these. Be hyper vigilant and do another one. Just not put it into the operation to, having a timeline or something like that. Just be hyper vigilant, continue it on, right? That's my take on it anyway. So here we go. This was Monday, July the 1st. The U.S. Marshal Service, along with federal, state, and local agencies in 7 federal judicial districts and geographical locations across the United States, led a 6-week national operation that resulted in finding 200 critically missing children, which includes endangered, runaways, and those abducted by non-custodial persons. Operation We Will Find You. Look at the abbreviation there. Operation We Will Find You Too. The second of its kind nationwide missing child operation was conducted from May the 20th to June the 24th and focused on geographical areas with high clusters of critically missing children. Children who go missing may be in serious danger and can be vulnerable to child sex trafficking, abuse, exploitation, and other crimes against children. With technical assistance from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Operation We Will Find You Too resulted in recovery and removal of 123 children from dangerous situations. An additional 77 missing children were located and to be found in 70 in safe locations. I'm glad they were in a safe location, according to law enforcement or child welfare agencies. Of the 200 children found, 173 were endangered runaways. Wow, endangered runaways, okay? 25 were considered otherwise missing. One was a family abduction and one was a non family abduction. The youngest child recovered was 5 months old. 14 of the children were found outside the city where they went missing. Additionally, of the missing children recovered, 57% were recovered within 7 days of the USMS assisting with the case. Excuse me. There are no words to describe the terror felt by the missing children, their families, and their communities, said Attorney General Merrick B. Garland. I am grateful to the dedicated professionals at the U.S. Marshal Service and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children who worked to find 200 critically missing children during this 6-week operation and who work every day to keep children safe. One of the most sacred missions of U.S. Marshal Service is locating and recovering our nation's critically missing children, said USMS Director Ronald L. Davis. This is one of our top priorities as there remain thousands of children still missing and at risk. Operation We Will Find You is a shining example of the results we can achieve when we unite in our mission to find missing children, said President and CEO Michelle DeLone of NCMEC. We are grateful that vulnerable children have been recovered as part of this operation, and we commend the U.S. Marshal Service and all the agencies involved for their commitment to protect youth and ensure these children are not forgotten. Behind every statistic, there is a child who deserves to grow up safe from harm. The operation was conducted from the following locations: District of Arizona, Phoenix, Glendale, Goodyear, Tucson, South Tucson, and Pima counties. Eastern District of California, San Joaquin, I don't know how to pronounce that one, San Joaquin County, Stockton, and Sacramento County. Southern District of Florida, Broward, St. Lucie, Martin, Palm Beach, and Miami-Dade counties. Western District of Michigan, Kent, Lake, Ingham, and Ottawa counties. Eastern District of North Carolina, New Hanover, Brunswick, Harnett, Oslo, Pitt, Wake, Johnston, Robeson, Cumberland, Sampson, Nash, and Pender counties. Southern and Eastern Districts of New York City, and District of Oregon, Mononama, Washington, and Deschutes counties, as well as Portland and Eugene, and the Warm Springs Reservation. Man, not even in Tennessee? What you talking about, man? Sorry. That's sad. Thank you so much. Oh, hey, Little Wing. And Dennis, listen, good to see you. Thanks for coming. Thank you, our bucket list. The Go Operation We Will Find You Too was to highlight partnerships amongst government and non government agencies to develop a multidisciplinary team whose focus was to pull together resources to find critically missing children and to bring more attention to the epidemic of missing children in America. Y'all really needed to do Tennessee really badly, too, man. Seriously. During this operation, the USMS worked with their respective federal, state, and local law enforcement partners, NCMEC, the Department of Children and Family Services, and other agencies to safely find missing children at risk of endangerment. These missing children were considered some of the most challenging recovery cases in the area, based on indications of high risk factors such as victimization of child sex trafficking, child exploitation, sexual abuse, physical abuse, and or medical or mental health conditions. In addition, other children who have been reported missing were located at the request of law enforcement to ensure they were safe and to confirm the child's location. The Justice for Victims in Trafficking Act of 2015 enhanced the USMS's authority to assist law enforcement with recovering endangered missing children, regardless of whether a fugitive or sex offender was involved. The USMS established a Missing Child Unit to oversee and manage the implementation of its enhanced authority under the Act. Members of the USMS Sex Offender Investigations Branch, Behavioral Analysis Unit, and Missing Child Unit began training personnel in the participating location months before the operation to ensure that case selection, vetting, and all pre-operational requirements were met. We will go to these links shown here in a few minutes. The B-roll links, Miami, North Carolina, photos and posters, which we already went over the photos and posters. We just need to go over the Miami B-roll and North Carolina B-roll. Significant recoveries. Western District of Michigan. This is what they found here. On January 11th, a 16-year-old female child was reported missing from her home in Edwardsburg, Michigan by her legal guardian. Information obtained through interviews show the child was likely with a 30-year-old adult male somewhere in the state of Indiana. The investigation showed the child was likely being controlled and abused by the adult male. During the investigation, operation personnel learned information that the child had either attempted to get away from the adult male multiple times or the child wanted to do so. The child was in a difficult and dangerous situation, especially since she had traveled across state lines and was now in a new state, a long distance from where she was first reported missing. The adult male had recent photos of cash and firearms on a social media profile. Whoa! Including one photo with an adult male is apparently pointing a handgun with an extended magazine at the missing child. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. USMS has identified multiple warrants for the adult male from multiple states, including Michigan. USMS determined a likely location for the adult male and the child in Indiana. A collateral lead request was sent by the Western District of Michigan to the Northern District of Indiana and the Great Lakes Regional Fugitive Task Force. On June 13th, USMS personnel attempted to arrest the adult male and recover the child at an apartment in Hammond, Indiana. The adult male jumped out of a window and attempted to flee the area, but was apprehended by a police canine before his eventual arrest. Woohoo! USMS personnel located the child safely inside the apartment and released her to Child Protective Services. But did y'all give him bail? It's good that y'all got him caught. Did y'all give him bond? Or is he running around free now? I want to know these kind of things. Y'all might arrest him, but is he back out again? Or he could go like that and harm others. I want added information, y'all. I'm sorry. There's too many people that does these things and get slaps on the wrist and then gets to be let back out. Southern District of Florida. On May 13th, a 15-year-old female was reported missing by her legal guardian. Information indicated that she might be staying at other people's houses or sleeping in parts of Miami-Dade, Florida. During the investigation, it was discovered the child had become a victim of human trafficking in the Miami-Dade area. On June the 7th, personnel from the U.S. Marshal Service, in collaboration with detectives from the Miami Police Department, located the child in an apartment complex in Miami-Dade after an extensive investigative search throughout the city. Upon being recovered, she was debriefed by Florida State Attorney's Office human trafficking personnel and subsequently returned to the Florida Department of Child and Family Services custody. Thank you so much in getting her saved. I would hope they would send her to one of these trafficking places because there's some different programs out there that retrains these children to get this kind of off their minds where they can be teach them how to like the things in school since they probably weren't in school at the time, how to write checks, how to be able to take care of yourself in a home when you are ready and able to do that. I think everybody needs to focus on doing those kind of things too, and not just that she was saved, but go back and help teach her, help get this stuff out there for her own safety and for these different people's safety as well. Not just putting her out in a society and not having enough of an education, but where she can be the best she can be, what she is able. On April 16th, a 16-year-old was reported missing after she ran away from her group home in Phoenix. The female had a history of being sex trafficked. Oh boy. The investigation revealed the child was in Los Angeles, possibly being sex trafficked. The suspected trafficker was murdered in Los Angeles on May the 25th. The child told a family member she was going on vacation to Miami, but when she got there, her new trafficker dropped her off at the beach and told her to make money. On June 11th, the child was located by USMS in Flint, Michigan, in a hotel and was taken into custody on an outstanding arrest warrant for a probation violation. Her male associate was arrested on local charges of driving without a license and insurance. An additional 20-year-old female was identified in the hotel. The suspected trafficking case was referred to the Homeland Security Investigations, and they will continue to investigate the case. Yeah, Michigan's, I'm glad that they are strict. The New York, New Jersey Regional Task Force. On November 3rd, 2023, a 16-year-old female was reported in the National Crime Information Center as missing from New York City. New York Administration for Children's Services, ACS, and was a prior victim of human trafficking. On May the 1st, 2024, the New York City Police Department Missing Persons Unit requested USMS's assistance in recovering the missing child. On June the 3rd, New York USMS Regional Fugitive Task Force members executed two arrest warrants for a 27-year-old male who was a primary subject of an ongoing investigation into the whereabouts of the missing minor who was being sexually exploited by the adult male. Upon execution of the warrant, the child was found in the male's bedroom, and evidence of sexual exploitation was found at the premise. The child was placed in the care of ACS and transported to the hospital for medical treatment. Well, Eastern District of North Carolina. On April 29th, a 1-year-old was reported missing to the Raleigh, North Carolina Police Department after her mother neglected to surrender her to the Department of Social Services. The RPD requested assistance from the USMS and finding the missing child. The child's mother was previously convicted of her actions in the strangulation, assault, and death of one of her four children, a 4-year-old boy. Oh my. Oh boy. Additionally, she was wanted on a felony probation violation pertaining to the original charge of cruelty towards a child. On May the 15th, USMS personnel and RPD personnel arrested the child's mother without incident in Raleigh. The missing 1-year-old was subsequently safely recovered in Raleigh by USMS investigators and handed over to DSS custody. Here's the Eastern District of California. On October 26, 2023, a 17-year-old female was reported missing by her legal guardian. Information obtained revealed that she was likely staying with her older adult sister, who was a known prostitute. Whoa. The child's older sister was recently arrested and on pretrial release for human trafficking, pimping, and pandering. On May the 30th, USMS personnel determined that the child and her adult sister were staying at a known prostitution and trafficking motel in Oakland, California. USMS personnel from the Eastern District of California coordinated with USMS personnel in the Northern District of California to establish a location for the child and her sister, which she now, I don't know when her birthday is, but she's 17, October 26th. Now it's May, don't know when her birthday is when she turns 18. Management at the hotel confirmed that both sisters had two rooms and had been staying there for some time with an unknown adult male. At one point, USMS observed the three individuals leave the rooms and began packing the car. Once inside the vehicle, USMS were able to safely move in and detain all three individuals. The child was then turned over to authorities. Here's District of Oregon. On May 21st, a 12-year-old female went missing from her family home in Portland, Oregon, and had reported allegations of sexual abuse by family members. Law enforcement officers contacted the child through her cell. She agreed to meet them at a grocery store in the Portland area. The officers received a call back from the child and a friend stating that her father was trying to pull her into his car and she was scared. USMS investigators were able to intervene and separate the endangered child from her father. The child told law enforcement that she had been raped by two Hispanic males and that her father touched her inappropriately. On May the 24th, the child was safely recovered and placed in a foster home while the Oregon Department of Human Services investigated the allegations. Within 24 hours of being placed in foster care, the foster family kicked the child out of their home. The child then called Deputy U.S. Marshal that had built rapport with her to ask for assistance. DUSM subsequently contacted DHS to report the incident. As a result, DHS placed the child in a state-run shelter. Without further ado, let's go to Operation. This the operation will find you in North Carolina. I will have to end up muting so that you'll be able to hear it. The U.S. Marshal Service, along with federal, state, and local partner agencies, led Operation We Will Find You. Let's see what's going to happen here. So let me mute myself.
So everybody should be down on that
Okay,
side part.
perfect.
We're very thankful to be one of the 7 districts that was selected to be a part of the operation We Will Find You Too. We are responsible for law enforcement services in 44 counties that cover some 26,000 square miles. And only through our partnerships are we able to be successful. But currently, before the operation started, we have approximately 50 open cases as it relates to missing and endangered children. Just really sad, and there's no place for a child to be mixed up in.
And especially with her history with prostitution and stuff like that, it's just
Yeah, how old is she?
14.
Oh no.
The house is like on the corner, so it's easy to put eyes on it. I just haven't seen any much movement other than a Honda leaving and coming back, but we haven't seen who's actually in there. So this is a picture what he looks like. You guys can see right here. It's not fenced. There's no dogs that I'm aware of outside. Does anybody have any questions on that one? Just because it's a missing child case, like you should never be content going into the house, or when you're doing your searches, you should always be observant of your surroundings. Because even though they're kids, it doesn't mean they're not capable of the same things as an adult or a fugitive or anything like that. Ready, I check?
Yep, I got you.
Okay. Because anything can change within seconds.
U.S. Marshal Service! Open the door.
We don't want you out here getting into trouble, okay? And getting mixed up in a lot of things. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna be real with you. You want me to be real with you? I'm gonna be real with you, okay? A lot of kids your age that go missing end up in very, very, very bad situations. You know what I'm saying? Older people end up taking advantage of people like you, okay? Because you're younger, all right? So that's why we're out here trying to put you with somebody that cares about you so that you don't go down the wrong path, all right?
So I told Mom that once we're done here, we're going to head over there.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was explaining to him, man. Like, we're just out here trying to make sure that everybody's okay, man. That's it.
They're usually together, so if they're not together, I don't know where they could be at, because they both just runaways.
As you probably know, with the passage of the JBTA Act back in 2015, it gave the United States Marshal Service the authority to investigate and recover missing children, critically missing children. And the difference in that lies in before we could always assist state and local agencies with missing child cases as long as there was a fugitive nexus, meaning that the abductor or the individual that had the child had an active warrant. Now we are able to use all of our resources that we normally would use to apprehend fugitives to now locate critically missing children where there is no fugitive nexus at all.
She called 911 last night and said he was driving around the house threatening her. And then his mom called the deputy and said that the girlfriend called her and said that he snuck into the house around 3 or 4 this morning, put a knife to her throat and said he's gonna kill her. So she wants him gone.
Gone, yeah.
So, and mom saying the same thing, you need to come get him. So, but mom and girlfriend are you need to come get him.
It's hard because these children that run away, they can fall victim into human trafficking and a lot of other things. And sometimes they're at a point where they can't speak for themselves. They don't understand what's going on when they're around that age as well. So we try to be able to put them in a safer spot where they can get those resources they need.
Is she with DSS?
He is.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Some of these kids they have no guidance, they get out on the streets and they get mixed up with gangs, and so they end up getting involved in violent crimes, committing violent crimes and being victims of violent crimes. So hence why we are trying to focus on getting these children back to the rightful guardians and give them the care or help give them the care that they need going forward.
Did you? Anybody here?
Okay, so she'll be in the custody of her grandfather.
The other.
Yes, yeah, we've been in contact with mom as well. Okay. All right, thank you for your help today, sir.
Okay, so let me start with, this is the first time that Operation We Will Find You is held in my district, in the Southern District of Florida. But I can tell you, I cannot imagine what it must feel like to not have one of your children not return home. So if I can't imagine the pain, try to imagine what satisfaction it gives these deputies and gives me as their leader to be able to close that gap.
Hey, police, U.S. Marshals, out of the house, out of the house.
Oh, they can't exit. Okay.
I got movement right here. Yeah, they're going that way.
It's like they say, Miami's a sunny place for shady people. So we do get a lot of lead centrals from other offices in different states.
Hey, there's one walking to the front door, one male.
Related to human trafficking, we're very busy during spring break and Memorial Day weekend. For some reason, all the wanted fugitives, sex traffickers, missing kids decide to travel down to Florida during that time of year. So,
Sir, come to the door. Good, come on out. You step out. Anybody in there with you, sir? Cats? Anybody else? Okay, you want to step out for a minute?
so out here in Florida, we work with Homeland Security Investigations and the United States Postal Inspector Service, USPS, the postal inspectors. And we do assist them in human trafficking cases. Unfortunately, here in Miami, that's pretty prevalent. You know, this is the corridor to the U.S. basically with the Miami International Airport. So it's again, it's unfortunate, but we do see it a lot here. You know, sporting events, concerts, and very, very heavy at the airport. So whenever they need help locating or making an arrest in these cases, they'll call us.
So again, the plan is to make contact with whoever's out front.
You know, we start the day planning and basically prioritizing the caseload and see what leads we can actively work at the moment.
Well, she's just in this vicinity. To find her is the issue. We're gonna have to probably stay a little late today, so we can just kind of work the area.
And then we go from there. So whether that be knocking on doors, interviewing people in the area, or doing surveillance.
I want you to get her because she's young and pretty.
I heard the situation's not good, so.
We want to make sure that we plan accordingly and we make sure we're doing the right thing here with our community. So
I'm the sergeant of the missing persons unit. I will make sure that everywhere you go, I'm gonna be there like a shadow. I have 2 kids, and in my house, we live under my rules, not under yours. So you're choosing an easy life or a easy path for a very hard life. Your parents are gonna be there for you forever. So you need to go home, and you need to stay home. Because we already know where all your friends live, and we will find you.
Working with the state and locals is key. The U.S. Marshal Service doesn't do this alone. You know, we do it with Miami-Dade Police Department, Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office, Human Trafficking Task Force. We do it with the City of Miami Police Department, Miami Gardens Police Department, our Homeland Security investigations, you know, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, you know, the Missing Endangered Persons Information Clearinghouse, the Department of Children and Family Services, and our contractor for Florida, which is the Citrus Foster Care Agency. Together, you know, we've heard it takes a village to raise a child. The truth is it takes a village to save a child. And we don't do this enough, right? Because if there is a missing child out there, there should be an operation to go find them.
Agree with him. He said there should be an operation out there to find them too. Hello, Catherine. Yeah. Hi, Catherine. Thank you so much for letting it know. I'm so glad everyone is here. There's a lot of child protective services that are bad, and there's some that are good. But there's been a lot of bad. I've got a couple videos on that where CPS has been noted for kidnapping our kids, hold them hostage, not doing what's right legally by trying to give them to another family member, giving them an option to be with a grandparent or whatever. Instead, they get more money when they go ahead and give the child away to a non-family member, and then they get more money for saying like for per illness that a child's got. So they're making the kids sicker and everything just so that they can exploit them and get a lot more money. And then to keep them away from their true family members who really love them and care about them. It's sickening. It's really sickening. Pray for all these kids that is in DHS custody. I pray that they go to a safe family member and if they don't have a safe family member, to go to a family who wants a kid who would actually treat this kid like one of their own and protect them the rest of their lives. Kids are a gem. They're to be respected, valued, loved, not to be used for whatever means that you want to use them for. You are to rear your children, teach them the ways to go. That's right. Value, respect, nurture your children. Thank you so much for the people that's rescued these kids. And I think it needs to be more than just 4 day or that 2 week or 6 week operation. I really believe I'm disappointed that knowing that there's these hubs in all states basically, and I was disappointed to see that we know of several that's of a bunch of missing kids that's around Hawkins County, Tennessee. I keep wondering about that. Like why is there not more people coming in there trying to investigate that? And maybe if these people that's doing this would go center into a couple of crimes like we know, like the Sebastian Rogers and the Summer Wells case and all stuff like that, maybe we'll get more results and these finding things. It makes us disappointed when there's some that we know and we've been trying to find and we're not getting no answers. It's like a standstill situation. We need more answers out there. If we don't know what's going on, and if they got more evidence around something and they're not letting the general public know about a little evidence, because the fact is, there probably is somebody else that could give them a little more information on this percent evidence as well. So I think it's imperative that they need to keep it open and so that we could try to help. And I thought it was funny the other day when I was talking about seeing that kid on the side of the road, and it looked bigger than, it looked older than 7. And she was on the side of the road just wearing a diaper. And she was being washed off by one of the percent people right there. And I couldn't pull over and do anything about it. And I cannot call 911 on my phone because it's a hands-free thing. I was on the interstate. It was going 5-10 miles per hour at the time. And then when we find out a couple of days later, when I do another video of that Trails Carolina, how they they had put these kids that's what 12, 11, 12, 13, 14 in diapers. Yes, I did. Thank you. I even tried to call and report it later on, and they told me that I shouldn't. There ain't nothing they could do, but they did not even take a report on what I seen. And I think that's a shame because what if that had been one of the missing kids out there, right? But like I said, that Trails, Carolina, which I did a video the other day, y'all need to go watch that because it does. One of the people who was there said that they would put them in diapers, and these were that old, really older kids. But that one boy was murdered, the 12-year-old. So y'all be hyper vigilant. It's kind of weird how I see something, then there's a few days later, there's other news stories where these much older kids wearing diapers because of where they were at, forced them to do that. Sick, sadistic people in this world, and we gotta be hyper vigilant, protect our kids. Our kids do not deserve this kind of treatment. God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all, and be hyper vigilant.